understanding that there is a huge use of propaganda. Can we all agree with that?
Mm-hmm.
You know, with politics, this global movement, climate, anything like that.
Sure.
And we do know that everything operates on a platform, you know, for it to go viral, right?
Mm-hmm.
And how does that go viral? Through an algorithm, right? And now, if you get a little bit deeper, that algorithm can be artificially manipulated to push whatever content that moves the needle, depending on what narrative, you know, whoever has the control wants to push. You know, if it's this feminist movement, you know, we're gonna push whatever content is, you know, boosting that. If it's climate with Greta Thunberg, you know, there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, what she's doing has some artificial manipulation to boost her credibility.
I agree with you 100%. Somebody decides what you see.
Yeah, somebody decides what you see.
Or some system decides what you see. But think about it this way. There's people are only comfortable with, so for instance, with the Me Too movement, right? Anything that had anything to do with Me Too was getting pushed. It was getting pushed. With DEI, anything having to do with DEI, it was getting pushed. It was
LGBTQ.
LGBTQI plus, it was getting pushed. Like all of those things.
You said I plus?
LGBTQIA plus.
What's IA plus?
What's that?
It's
Hey Siri.
Siri. What is LGBTQIA
What's
plus?
ABCD?
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's actually
New.
not new.
And here's the deal.
Will you stop? I'm
And
trying
here's
to
the
ask
deal.
Siri.
And here's the deal with social media.
As soon as I look it up.
We think that everything's being pushed because of an algorithm. It's only being pushed because it's allowing us to push it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. You think you're in control by being able to sit down and record something, and no, it's only what you're allowed to.
Yeah. But LGBTQIA plus.
IA plus.
IA2S plus. I'm sorry, I stand corrected. It's people who are lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and or gender expansive, queer and or questioning, intersex, asexual, and two-spirit.
Well, how do you feel about that?
Two spirit. Like I have another spirit in here?
Yeah, basically. We're living in the modern day Babylon.
I've never heard of two-spirit. I've never.
They just added it today.
Today.
They just added it today.
It just got updated today. Where'd you hear this from? Don't tell me you read this in a book.
Reddit. It's on Reddit.
It's on here. It's on socialworkers.org.
No, where'd you hear this from?
LGBTQ.
IA plus. Artificial
So doing
intelligence.
diversity, equity, and inclusion work, you hear all of these things.
Inclusivity.
You have to. I'm not gonna say it's important to know how other people identify.
Well, how important is...
So you just can't identify as just a man or a woman. Or a man who may
identify
be...
as two-spirit.
Who?
Two spirits. Is that what it is?
I don't know what this whole two-spirit is. I haven't heard of it, but
It's like two personalities.
I think that's saying something different.
it's a modern pan-Indian umbrella term used by indigenous North Americans to describe Native people in their communities who fulfill a traditional third gender
Wow.
or other gender variant.
Oh.
It was created in 1990 as an indigenous lesbian and gay international gathering, chosen to distinguish and distance Native Americans from non-Native people.
You know they just updated the definition of a man and a woman, right?
No.
Yep. They just updated the definition of a man and a woman.
What is a man?
Whatever. It's not based on what you're born as. It's what you prefer to be, what you identify to be.
Oh, so like I could be a dragon,
No.
similar.
They don't define
Cat
it.
dragon.
They don't limit it to what you're born to anymore.
Huh. Well, I'll tell you what, whatever's on your birth certificate, all right, you're a male.
Now they have neutral on birth certificates.
Do they really?
Yes, they do.
I mean, you can go and get reassigned. Like, I understand that. You can get reassigned and take hormone pills and decrease testosterone, increase estrogen, and grow breasts now, and cut off your penis and probably be a woman. Well, no, you're still not. You're still not a woman. Man, I'm gonna get in trouble for all this. You can't be I guess you can't be a woman, right? Because you don't have women parts. You can't give birth.
Medical
Yeah.
break.
Yeah, I
medical
actually just seen a
sciences
break
are
on that.
actually.
You tell me a man can give birth.
He could
I
be
think that-
inseminated.
yeah.
He could be inseminated to give birth.
You gotta.
Yes.
No.
I
Yes.
don't know.
I did see some creepy stuff like that.
You could be inseminated.
Yeah, I seen a
Because
man.
that happens in prison all the
There's a
time.
man-
And I don't see a lot of men in prison pregnant, right?
Because he doesn't produce an egg, but he can be inseminated
And hold a baby.
and hold a baby. You didn't see that man that delivered that man that
It
had
was a
baby?
woman. It was a woman at first.
Let me see.
Yeah,
so
no.
confusing.
Yeah, I'm already confused. That can't happen.
This is gross, but
And if you find something, it was a woman. It was a woman. It probably looks like a man now. It probably even has a beard. And that's okay.
Why do you think we're pushing that in the West? Because it is a West thing. They don't have that in Russia. Definitely not in China. Definitely not in the Middle East.
you know what? I think that the Western culture is so freaking laxed on so many things, and that's why our kids are, our kids are confused. Our kids can't figure out stuff in life because we put in so many things, but then we also don't prepare them for so many things, right? So if you think about it, back in the day, I know for me, the problems, like me growing up, the problems are still the same that kids have now, right? But they're so less equipped to deal with it, right? We have socially stunted the growth of kids, right? Nobody has to toughen up and deal with it. It's like, oh my gosh, you want to talk to someone? I get all of those things, but we just never, we don't give children time
You want to know what it is?
to be able to. Our culture has become this coddle culture in everything, but then we when they kind of get in bigger, we just say, do whatever. You could be a cat, you could be a dog, you could be all of these things, when we know that God created, right? He created animals, he created humans. He didn't create anything else, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've strayed so far away from that. What were you gonna say?
It's so to your point of the Western civilization being so liberal and deprived of even just leaders, right? So think about this: do we want more education centers in our area in Montbello? Would we feel comfortable having more education centers?
No.
Right? It would take away from our bottom
Sure.
line, our money.
Okay.
So you want more people. You want more people. You don't want more leaders in the industry, but you definitely want more people to make more children, right? More submissive people, so that you can make more money. So at the end of the day, it's just about money. That's all it is. It's not about making strong leaders. You're gonna have an anomaly every now and then to get somebody that's gonna push the needle, and go a little further and become a CEO and become, a person that's going to create a business. But then for the most part, you need a lot of other submissive people who are going to be just helping to generate more
Revenue.
revenue.
But our society is so fucked up.
Here you go.
Our society, what do you mean here I go?
Here come the F-bombs.
It is. Our society is screwed up. Our kids can't think their way out of a box.
And is that good or bad?
And if they have a problem, then they resort to violence.
Is that
Hey,
good
well,
or
hold
bad?
on. Don't say y'all's kids, because it's not me.
No, I said our society.
I'm just
our
kidding.
kids. Because kids even younger than you are doing this stuff.
Yeah, they're screwed.
Look at it. It's almost like we're in this desperate times where if you have it, I want it. But I'm not going to go buy it. I'm just going to take it from you. Like nobody values work anymore. Can you pass me one of those? Or is that the last one? Nobody values work, but they.
Do you see the problem?
But look at like even here's the
We're
one thing I'll
missing
tell you.
the issue.
Here's the one thing I'll tell you. And Jay-Z said it. What did he say?
He said
These kids respect the victim. I respect the shooter.
Right.
I respect the person making the moves, not the one that's the victim of the society.
To my point again.
Jay-Z on 3.
To my point again. You need more submissive people. You definitely need more leaders, but you need more submissive people that's going to help generate more revenue, right? Or to at least have that revenue generate. Here's the problem. All right. I was a little mixed up with my words. Here's the problem. With the economic issues right now, money's not moving. People are hoarding their money, right? They're keeping in their savings. They're not buying homes. They don't want to buy cars. Nothing new, right? So what do? You allow more social media influence. You allow more. You take the chains off of media. You allow more. What's the word I'm looking for? You just create a submissive culture. You create a more submissive culture.
So how is it submissive?
So that more money supply can circulate. Money supply isn't circulating right now, and that's the issue. That's what's going to create a recession.
But tell me this. Are you saying that's a Western culture thing? Because that was his original question.
No, it's an answer. It's an answer to the issue.
No, I definitely think, like, if you look at liberal views and how you structure a society and the way that we're self-imploding with, our kids, no longer understanding morals, values, and being subordinate, submissive, that is very pushed towards the West. And we are trying to impose on other nations, like, you guys should really think about, this LGBTQ thing. Like they just had a political leader from here try to make contact with African presidents or prime ministers, and they're all totally against it.
Well, there's a culture there, though.
Yeah, there's a culture.
There's a culture in Africa. There's a culture in Russia. There's a culture in China. But U.S. has its open borders, right? So there's really no culture. It's just a huge melting pot of people doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Right? And so what the U.S. is trying to do is trying to figure out how can we actually make money on the bottom line? Because what's being threatened, the dollar bill, right? There's talk of other currencies being created. So how can America create this stronghold?
But what's the bottom line?
Money.
Yeah, but when your money is threatened, what's the bottom line?
Crime.
War.
Violence.
Yeah, violence.
Yeah, so when the bottom line is
Your
threatened.
back is up against the wall. Anybody's gonna do that.
Yeah, but a back up against the wall compared to World War I or World War II, we had strong men.
Yeah.
We had leaders,
Right.
the community, and
You don't know what you're gonna get in this.
there's not going to be too many people
It's
that want to enter the
infiltrated.
draft.
It's
I think,
infiltrated,
in this
right?
day and age.
When Trump became or was going for presidency, Russia tried their hardest to make sure that they infiltrated social media, right?
So they said.
Oh no, I was
It was proven.
on social media,
It
and
was proven. The Russian
every
fact-
commercial, everything was being pushed about, liberals and the Democrats are not doing, their thing to keep the borders closed and all these things. And you start thinking like, man, we are kind of jacked up. We are going in the wrong direction. Maybe we do need a different president. Maybe we do need a different leader. Oh, let's do Donald Trump. Let's give it a shot.
You don't think it was the algorithm?
Yeah, of
Because
course.
somebody's gotta tell you what you want to see.
Yeah, they used the algorithm to overthrow this last presidential election with Biden.
And that's easy to do.
Over
When you
81
vote,
million votes.
when you vote and you get that paperwork that comes in from the county, what do you side with? Whether it's liberal or Republican or Democrat, that stuff is sold. You know what I mean? Your phone number along with your name.
I think that was manipulated, but also they use media. Like we're starting to see Twitter files being release on the suppression of information. Like they hid that Hunter Biden laptop story big time.
As long as they could. Yeah.
As long as they could, up until he made it through the gate. And here it is. Now we know just how dumb and corrupt this guy Biden really is. The entire family. Yeah, now we're starting to realize.
But Clinton was in the same boat though too. She was in the same boat with her servers that were here in Colorado.
Yep, sure was. I mean, they're all corrupt.
I think our government is corrupt. I think if anything has any man hand in it, it's corrupt. There is always an agenda. If there is a human person involved in it, there's always an agenda.
And that's in every country then.
That's every country.
I just said, if there's any human involvement,
Everybody's gonna say
I am going to use it for my benefit. I am not going to hand somebody this information without it being a benefit to me. I don't know. I don't feel like you could even trust the government, because even look at like our food. They say there's so many regulations, but there are so many things that we consume that are so bad for us.
But you
right?
do trust
And
them,
we still
Go to the
people
grocery
still
store.
make money off of it, right?
still gonna go to the
like
grocery store.
reading this article, like these Hot Pockets,
What?
they are not good for human consumption.
Yeah, but they're good though.
It doesn't matter that they're good, but they still sell it. In other countries, it's off of the shelves. But we still, as this free Western culture, like, yeah, go ahead, eat it. Yep, you'll have cancer
And you
in
still
5
get it.
years. And no, we don't get Hot
No,
Pockets.
just in general, people still get it.
Somebody still makes money off of it.
Yeah.
And guess who are probably the largest consumers of Hot Pockets? Kids. Teenagers, college
That's because
kids.
it's quick and it tastes good.
Yep. Quick and it tastes good.
I mean, well, what has the American society been built on? Capitalism.
Everything
And,
people do is capitalism.
But shouldn't it though?
What'd you say?
Even
But shouldn't it though?
Shouldn't everything be based on capitalism?
I mean,
What you're asking?
yeah. I mean, if you want businesses to do well,
I mean, that's the American dream. That's what people came out here
you
for.
want to be an entrepreneur and be able to make as much money as you can
Yeah.
without any restriction.
I mean, the only problem I have now with what's taking place is, the manipulation and suppression of speech, through these platforms, and the push of control, like with the vaccines, for example. Like those things were and I felt really bad. I was like, dude, my family was first in line. Like they were like, you ain't getting it? Like, man, we're scheduled. Like as soon as this thing drops, we got it. And I'm like, dang, man, hold on. And I was so skeptical, and I ended up getting it anyway because of social pressure. And I thought I was going to be able to maintain my job or be able to get the promotion or whatever the case may be.
some people lost their jobs.
Yeah, and then you figure out that they biologically engineered this
Ours was threatened.
this COVID.
Yeah.
They threatened to shut us down if we didn't get our shot.
Didn't get the vaccine, and now they're starting to realize that it's not needed. And then not just that, it has terrible symptoms. Like
Side effects, yeah.
who's to say that this guy that passed out on the football field, since they felt so compelled to air that, if they were to put out like, dude, he just had the vaccination like right before that game, blah blah blah, pure anarchy. Yeah, so I think it's just a matter of time before they push that button and we self-implode as a nation. That's my opinion. I didn't think about it before. I wasn't even into politics, so I didn't think too much on the control that they had, anything like that.
Yeah, I think there's control when it benefits a specific group or specific. When there's a benefit to someone or something, then the powers that be enforce control.
Yeah.
right? Pharmaceutical companies stand to benefit greatly when you get the vaccine, right? So now your job is threatened.
Yeah.
So you go get the vaccine. Ultimately, they get paid again, right? Ultimately, Fauci gets paid somewhere, right?
And all
Like
those
somebody,
politicians.
there's multiple lines of money being exchanged when somebody gets a vaccine,
Yeah.
right? And then go get your booster, right? Like there's some form of money being exchanged. And so I'm running a little low right now, go ahead and start enforcing that they get the booster, because the booster's gonna do this, and this, and then boom, all the platforms are like, your booster, you gotta get your booster. Did you get your booster? You better get your booster, because now the new variant, the alpha B23
Here's the deal, though.
is more contagious. You're
Is-
all gonna get
Is
it.
it a virus?
100% it's a virus.
And there's only
So is
one.
the
And
flu.
there's only one way to protect yourself from a virus, right? Two ways: either don't get it, or get a vaccine, right? To protect yourself.
Or allow your immune system.
Or you
Don't
get
get
it, you
Yeah,
get
don't
it, and your body builds a natural immunity to it, right? But it is a virus that
Maybe.
is constantly mutating,
Maybe.
right? But why is it mutating? How is it mutating? Have we even come to understand the mutation of it, right? The flu mutates. We still can't get ahead of the flu.
Here's the truth: more people died, right? You saw them in trailers, in coolers, right? You
Right.
saw these. You saw these bodies
An engineered
dumped,
virus.
being
Yes.
dumped. So,
Yeah, over 600 million.
there's
Across the
truth
world.
in the virus.
An
And
engineered
there's
virus.
only two ways to combat it, right? Either don't get it, hope that you can build an immunity. You know, old people probably didn't have a greater chance at that. Or get the virus, get the vaccine in hopes that you could build an immunity towards that one variant.
That one variant.
Towards the one variant.
Right. And then
Otherwise,
it
you gotta keep
mutates.
getting boosters and boosters and boosters and
But then the
boosters.
boosters don't get it.
Why
No,
not?
you still get it.
Here's the thing. I got the booster and then I turned around and got the virus.
You gotta mutate it.
Yeah, but
So the booster doesn't prevent me from getting the virus.
No, and that's what they sold you on.
how many times did I get COVID?
It's false
Once.
marketing.
I only caught it once. Okay, you caught it twice. Was your first time worse than your second time? Yes, it was. Your first time that
my
you got
first
it.
time was not worse.
Your second
my first
time?
yeah, my second time was worse than my first time. My first
Yeah,
time,
you got
I was
it
like, oh
first.
man, I feel like I got a little cold, and I think we all felt like we had a cold.
Yeah, mine wasn't bad.
Yeah, but we still
Yours was
functioned.
bad.
Yeah, mine was horrible.
Y'all's
Yeah.
was bad. Wait,
Yeah.
y'all had it twice, right?
I had it once.
Yeah, I think we've had it twice. We didn't test when, was it after them, or it was around that, it was when you felt like you had a cold. That's
yeah.
the one that didn't do much, but when we got it when we weren't vaccinated back in May,
Last
April,
one.
May, that was terrible.
Terrible.
I
Terrible.
don't think I had it twice.
My second one was bad. Remember, I was like, I can't get
And
rid
we
of
were
it. I'm
around
Yeah,
tired.
your chest was hurting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The second one was worse. And I had the vaccine and the booster.
Well, you had the vaccine to fight what though? There was at least 3 different variants after that, right?
There was the,
So
what
you
was
don't
it,
know
the
what you-
Delta,
Yeah,
the
that was the second.
Omicron,
That was the third.
and then the one I had was
The
the
B12.
B,
I don't know.
the B12.
And then they shut down the economy for what reason?
Man, shut it down.
Nothing.
Shut a lot of businesses down.
Shut everybody down.
Everybody was in.
Well, they gave everybody PPP.
They flooded the market with artificial dollars. You know, pushed us in crazy debt, crazy inflation. I think it's just ramping up to, you know, more reliance on the government. That's what it's going to be. You know, people are going to keep suffering and will push us towards that.
Back to the point of genocide, being more reliant on the government, right?
Control.
More control. So you gotta weigh that, right? So if we tear the economy down, if we shut it down, they knew this way far in advance than we understood it.
Yeah, it's chess.
Right?
That's
right. They're already 2 steps ahead.
Yeah.
So if we shut the economy down, this is what we're going to do. What's going to happen? Well, more people are going to be reliant on government spending, right? And that's more control. It's more control over what you eat.
Government spending, like, tell me about more.
PPP.
Oh.
PPP, those checks that were coming to people every
Stimulus, unemployment.
Stimulus checks. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, people did not want to go back to work because they were getting untaxed like $2,000 every 2
Oh,
weeks.
well, now
or
they're pulling that
something.
stuff back, and people are like, it couldn't happen at the worst time. I'm like, there'd never be a good time to pull that money back,
Yeah,
because you
that's-
started to become used to and adapted your lifestyle to receiving
Exactly.
this amount. So now the government's like, we're running out, we're running the debt ceiling up, and we're gonna take back, you know, what I think I was reading about this $300 something that they're taking back from food stamps. People are like, it's at the worst time when grocery prices are going up, and now you're giving us less. But there'd never be a good time to pull that money back. It'd never be a good time for you to be self-sufficient and go get a job.
I think they should have never given people whatever dollars that they use from government to go to grocery stores. What is that called? Food stamps? Yeah, food stamps. I like Trump's idea. Set them up with a box of the necessities, canned foods, whatever the
In
case.
Des Moines, Iowa, they're passing. They are sending. I read it actually today. In Des Moines, Iowa, they are sending a bill to be passed that if you on food stamps, you can only get whole grain pastas.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get any cheeses. You can't get American cheese. You can't get sliced cheese. You can't get shredded
Which is
cheese.
good.
Yeah, no dairy.
You were the one telling us this.
Yeah,
at the
you can't
dinner.
get meat. You can get canned tuna and canned beans, and you cannot get any. You obviously can't get any personal products, but everything you can get fruits and vegetables. That's it. That's it. If
No
you want to
toilet
get
paper,
steak,
none of that?
nope. That's never been covered. But if you want to go get steak and stuff, you pay for it yourself.
Yeah, I've seen people take full-fledged advantage of that.
It's in alignment with the USDA's nutrition guidelines. You
So
can't-
this is good. So again, I think everybody's kind of, not that you guys are missing the point. This is what the government plans. So
But I agree
those
with the box.
those boxes, right? You can only get whole grain. You can't get meat. So what do they? You mentioned this earlier. You go to a restaurant and it costs almost double now, right? So for those that can afford it or lack thereof, you're willing to pay more for it, right? Capitalist. So now those farmers are making. Remember, the farmers were getting decimated, right? They were having to shut down their farms. They didn't know what to do with the meat. They had to throw milk away, right? So now people that can afford it, now those farmers are getting paid again, top dollar. So take it away from those that can't afford it, that are using government funding, because that's just that is non-inflated money, right? That's just bare bone minimum food stamp, however it is, a card or the book or whatever it is, right? But for those that can't afford it, or you're gonna pay double for it though. So those that are getting the boxes or the wheat, the beans, and the tuna and no meat, that's good.
Yeah, this drives inflation down.
Right? So now we're increasing monetary value again. It's a plan and it's a long shot. Not saying that it's going to work, but you got to stay 2 steps. Trust me, people that are in charge of this, they're already 2 steps ahead. So if we do this, for those, so when Olajuwon and Kelsey go to the restaurant, we can charge how much? Let's do it. So we're going to charge the restaurants more. They're going to add on their value, right? Their margins. So now we're going to make even more. So now our farmers, you guys can stop complaining because that was huge. That was news all over the place. Now your farmers are paid again. They're having no issues now. Nothing on the news about farmers not making money now, right? Nothing, because now they're getting money again. Eggs, right? Eggs are off the charts now. Now here's the thing. Eggs are a big deal again, right? I'm not gonna lie, when I went to the store, what was that, yesterday or the day before when we went to the store? I didn't look at the price. You wanna know why? Because it doesn't impact me as much. I don't even care how much the eggs are. I didn't even look. The guy was like, I went and got some paper towels. Did you hear that Hispanic guy was like, how much is that? You know, I think you were walking ahead. I got the paper towel, right? Put it at the bottom of the cart. He was like, oh, how much was that? And I was like, dude, I don't know. And I know that sound real arrogant, right? But for me, fortunately, I didn't care about the price of paper towel. I don't care about the price of eggs because I gotta have it. You know what I mean? But for those that are bare bone minimum, they're like, how much is that? Because I may or may not be able to get that. And that's what the government wants, right? They want that. I want the people that can pay double or don't even bat an eye on how much this is. Because now I'm taking care of my farmers, I'm taking care of woodworkers, whatever the case is, right? It's all a plan, and it's a very strategic. It's a good plan. I'm not saying that I'm for it, but I'm just saying that whatever plan it is, it's a long shot, and they're trying.
So here's where like I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying trying like I agree. I'm saying trying as in they are trying.
See, I'll be with that if I didn't know that they were paying farmers not to farm. And they actually are doing that.
Yeah.
They're actually paying off farmers not to farm.
Not to farm.
I'll take your land, whatever you need. So they are trying to control our food supply.
Absolutely.
Trying to make us eat beetles and bugs, you know what I mean, rather than the meat. They're trying to exchange that out. So
Have us reconsider our diets now.
reconsider your diets. It's ultimate control.
That's why you should start growing your own, get your own farm,
Yeah, but
self-sufficient.
They even say like the soil now is not even the nutrients, you know? It doesn't even equip to what it was back then.
Wow.
yeah, there's a certain
They're strict.
resource like nitric or something
And you
like
wanna know how
that.
much my eggs were today?
How much?
$8.
For how many?
A dozen.
Listen,
$8?
I'm not joking. And
Where'd you go?
King Supers. And I had to get that one because
It's your neighborhood
all the other ones were gone.
store. Or the brown ones.
Yeah. Okay, make sure they were
Well, that's
See,
extra.
and that's how you know that this is a problem, because I'm considering your age, and
Yeah.
you're already like, these eggs are expensive. And typically around your age, I know I didn't care when I was running. I was getting this, I didn't care.
Well, yeah, they were $3 when I started buying them 3 years
Now
ago.
they're $8.
$8 for 12, and it's not even a good brand that I would get. I used to get like organic, really
Yeah.
good eggs.
Large brown
Large brown
eggs.
These ones are like, here, you want these ones? And I'm not gonna lie, today I went down in $1 because I was like, shit. I'm not going for this freaking egg.
You're like, can I have the chiclet eggs?
And the guy put it back for me and he said, yeah, take these. And I
Yeah.
said, okay, because all the other ones were gone, no choice in eggs,
Mm-hmm.
and they were $8.
That's the
They're like, we got the
plan.
reject eggs.
I'm
These
telling
are the
you.
eggs that we think might
$7.99.
crack.
Yeah.
Your drink, between $12 and $17 for a drink at a restaurant now. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we went. I had
And they
that
want
coffee,
you to-
that espresso martini. It was $15.
$15 espresso martini. You know, martinis are pretty small,
$15.
right? $15 for an espresso martini. But
Yeah,
you pay
that's
for
what
it
you
because you can. And I'm not saying we're made of money, but
There's a cause and effect to everything though, because tips are way down. Tip average is way down.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I would typically be
Yeah.
in the 20s, 25s. I'm always cheap though.
It's way down.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm cheap.
You're funny.
You say one wrong thing to me, or
Yeah.
if I'm drinking my water and I set my water down, you walk past it. In my mind,
Well,
I'm already
now-
taking money off.
Yeah, and now the service these days are not genuine, and it's not like, oh, let me do the extra step to make sure this family feels, or this
Mhm.
customer, or whatever.
Yeah.
It's the expectation is down here.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we just basically described what's all going on. They're trying to control the food supply. They're
Nobody wants
manipulating
to work.
politics.
Right.
Nobody wants to work.
They want to just
Inflation.
be on social media.
They're trying to fight inflation as they're trying to fight a recession.
So do you think the plan is gonna work?
No,
Plan?
like it's horrible. You cannot fight inflation as you're fighting a recession while pushing debt, while increasing the national debt.
Now, what's the definition of a recession?
Loss of jobs.
That's all
I'm
right.
spacing it. I'm spacing
That's
it.
3 consecutive quarters
So-
of low GDP.
Yeah.
Right now,
yeah.
this is what I mentioned earlier. That gross domestic product. Nobody wants to spend their money, right? Nobody wants to spend their money. That I'm gonna hoard it. I can't get these eggs. They're just. I know not to buy these eggs. It's just not worth it. I'm gonna keep my money.
And then debt is expensive,
Debt is expensive.
and they're
Nobody wants to
increasing.
borrow.
Yeah, they're increasing the.
So
interest
because
rates.
debt is expensive, and you know this, for those that have some extra money, what are they doing? Here, you borrow my money.
Yeah.
I'm buying treasury bonds. I'm putting my money into high yield savings, giving it to banks so that they can then invest it, right? I feel like I'm doing my job. I feel like I'm doing my part. Here, invest this money, make more money, America, while I'm sitting on some money because I don't need it right now. But when you give it back, I want it back with interest.
Yeah, but that's volatile. It's a volatile move right now.
Why?
The
Me
debt
giving my money?
ceiling. The debt ceiling.
Me giving my money to them?
Yeah.
Volatile? How?
Yeah, if you're investing in bonds and CDs, I mean, any trust in the government right now.
And it is a go.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not volatile. I'm going to always make money on it though. These are government bonds.
Yeah,
So
now
it's
that
guaranteed money.
not if the economy collapses.
I'm giving money to the U.S. so that they can then send tanks to Ukraine.
Yeah,
That's literally what I'm doing.
basically.
Right?
I mean, we're all doing that in one way or another. Our tax dollars.
So I am really support. Wow. Oh my gosh. Here's the deal. I'm not even in support of this whole.
You're in it to the fullest because
Yeah.
you're invested in bonds and you're
You
paying
guys are
taxes.
front line with them.
Yeah,
Give my rifle. Where's
Might as well.
my? Hey, my rifle, man. Let's go.
might as well.
Oh yeah, give me that. Give my rifle.
That's why I said it's volatile because shoot, like the debt is increasing, the national debt is increasing. It's just a shaky place. It's never been like this.
Yeah.
So it all comes back to capitalism and the debt ceiling and GDP. It's all money, down to the food boxes, to the wheat spaghetti, the extra money you're spending on drinks, to the eggs. All of it. It's all a capitalistic move.
Yeah, well, we're a capitalistic society. We don't do anything unless there's money behind it.
And
Unless
we
there's
don't.
money behind it or money impact, or
And I
it's
run a
impacted
business.
by money,
I run a business,
or money
so
or it will impact their money. Look at all of the people that have been like discriminated against or have had some type of act against them. A company or organization will not say anything unless their bottom line is impacted.
Well, I think.
Look at the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
what?
With what was his name? Jerry. What was his
You're
name?
gonna have to let me know, because I don't know.
He was actually a
What did he
part. He was he the owner? Jerry Rice is his
Yeah,
name?
he's the owner.
Yeah,
Supporting like Nazism. Or
in his
something like that.
younger days, he was in a picture with Nazi supporters. Like it was a Nazi
Who, Jerry Rice?
meeting. Yeah, with the Dallas Cowboys, and it never got addressed. But guess what did get addressed? Kyrie Irving's anti-Semitic comments that he was, talking about. That got addressed, but we never addressed.
But that's current.
They were at the same time.
Yeah, they were at the same time.
They happened at the same time.
And LeBron said something. He was like, "Man,
Oh, wow.
y'all want to talk to me about Kyrie, but y'all don't want to talk to me about this owner of the
I did
Cowboys."
not know that.
So
That's crazy.
But it didn't affect somebody's bottom line, and that's why it never got said. Or unless it affects somebody's bottom line. Look at Kanye West. As crazy as what he said, everything that he said, it affected somebody's bottom line, and they immediately did something.
Yeah, he's not in control.
Exactly. So I've said it's a capitalistic
Yeah,
country.
yeah,
Unless if this is impacting my money,
yeah. That's what
I
pays
gotta
your
do
bills.
something.
That's what pays
Exactly.
your bills.
yeah. Well, that's not. We have lost so much touch with humanity and just being a decent human being.
America's never been decent.
For being a decent human being, America may not be decent, but we should
But
be.
you're saying we lost it as if we had it.
Yeah, we did.
When?
Post World War II. That's when we first came into power.
No, we're talking humanity.
Humanity. I was just talking about American as being revered.
Revered is like
Yeah,
a
revered
power.
as a sovereign nation.
Yeah,
And that was after World War II, and that's when we came into power. Yeah.
We have just lost touch with being.
But you want to know why? We put everything behind God at that point. If you go back throughout history after World War II, when the dollar got established and God we trust, and all the schools. I remember going to school in elementary and middle school and doing the Pledge of Allegiance. They took that
When
completely
did
out
they
of
get
there.
that? When did they take that out?
I don't know.
Has it
Like,
been years or is it like very recent?
I didn't do it in high school. I know that.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
I did it in high school.
Yeah, they took that out.
Every day. Every single day. Wow.
Huh?
Yeah, you see? Now things
Now
have changed.
elementaries aren't even doing it.
You don't even write cursive anymore.
I mean, that was redundant.
Cursive?
What do you need cursive for?
I didn't
I said
write
cursive is a
anything.
necessity.
Man.
Yeah, for tattoos, I like cursive tattoos.
Everybody at my high school.
For tattoo artists, that's a necessity.
I did not do handwritten anything in high school. They gave every student a brand new iPad.
Oh, you typed everything?
Yeah, or just
Or just cheated.
cheated on everything.
So then let me ask you, okay, so outside of cheating,
Yeah.
when everything was typed, do you feel like you were able to retain?
No.
Yeah, see, that's a
It's
problem.
like, people can't spell anymore.
But here's the weird thing.
No.
So when I go back to
Oh
college,
yeah, I'm horrible. Huh?
when I was in college, here's the thing, I now type my notes way faster, so I learn to retain it.
Mm,
So like when I'm taking notes, I'm always, instead of writing it,
you
I
type.
type it now. I type my notes. I would type like crazy.
Well, wait, what are you typing?
Like I would be able to put more thought into my notes.
Yeah, see, that's your, yeah. But like in high school, let me write this paper, let me grab some citation. I'm not
Right.
learning.
Right.
I could write a grant, and I have plenty of grants,
Mm-hmm.
and I will literally, dang, what was that about? Because I typed it, you know what I mean? But as soon as I put pencil to paper, I'm like, oh, I got that down.
Yeah.
But guess what's
Now you
about to
remember
make it? Guess what's about to make us all dumber?
Well,
AI. Now you can ask a program.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No.
You got
I disagree.
transhumanism.
No.
You got
No.
the.
Guess
You will
what?
put
Guess what
no
they're calling
thought
it?
Into.
Guess what they're calling it? On your resume now, you can list prompter.
What?
You will not
Prompter.
be able to. You will not put any thought into
Putting information
anything
into
anymore.
AI to have it
No way.
compute. Yeah. So now you can list that you are a great prompter by asking. Have any of you used chat?
I use it.
So you know what I mean.
But
Guess what?
nobody's
Chat
gonna.
GPT.
But so then nobody is gonna be speaking for real. It's something else speaking for you. So therefore,
Singularity.
I don't have to put any thought into it because I'll just
That's
say
good.
this is what I want to say, and
Good.
it says it. So
That's
now
good.
we can't even communicate with
Nope.
each
Now
other.
you think about other things.
If you've made it thus far, thank you so much for watching the entire video. I hope that you all took something that brings you closer to wealth. There were a lot of great strategies and theories that went into that conversation. So thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and please leave some description at the bottom. Leave some comments in there. Let me know what you guys think. Give me your own rendition of what you guys think to some of these topics and conversations. I'd really like to read them and get back with you. So thanks again. See you later. Stay wealthy.